very, very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us today on a very interesting topic is Be Imperfectly Beautiful. How do we accept ourselves with Dr. Swati Chawla, who's a psychologist and a health and wellness expert. So a lot of you do know me. I'm Sukirti Gupta. I'm one of the co-founders of Sipping Thoughts. So Sipping Thoughts is a multi-platform media company that was started by me and Meeta Gudgutia. It was set up keeping in mind the tagline, real women, real thoughts. We wanted to create a platform where women could speak their mind, a no judgment platform. Sipping Thoughts reaches to about 2 million women on a monthly basis. We're available on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and please do check us out on our website. Lots of interesting webinars, lots of interesting conversations, so please do join them. But in this session today with Swati, we're going to talk about priorities, our priorities in life. What perceptions do we have for ourselves? And are we perfect in everything we do? And why? Why does this desire for perfection define us? And where do I belong in the whole story of my life? So, Dr. Swati Chawla has an experience of over 15 years in wellness, training, CSR counseling, and innovation and strategy. She has impacted so many lives, counseled over 5,000 people with more than 100 trainings. She's trained 8,000 people. She's also won the Women Achievers Award in 2020 by the Arya Group of Colleges in Jaipur. She is on a mission to do 100 webinars on mental health. So we're very delighted that we can help her on that mission and we can also get guided by her. She's been doing lots of workshops for major MNCs. So what we are going to hear here and what we're actually getting light on is actually what is some of the discussions that are happening globally in most of the large companies, large hospitals, large players out there. But before we get started with the actual webinar, which is Imperfectly Beautiful, I'd like to ask her because I know this question, especially Swati, this webinar is very, very personal to you. So please tell us a little bit about that and welcome Swati to Sipping Thoughts.
Thank you so much, Shikriti and Sipping Thoughts for giving me this opportunity. And yes, you're absolutely right. This session is very, very close to my heart. And when we say imperfectly perfect or imperfectly beautiful, it really brings out, the first thought that comes in, do we have any imperfections? And it is why it is very special to me is because I definitely accept the fact that I have imperfections, and it is my personal journey that I have been through. And I have not been a very slim or trim person, but I did, gained a lot of weight, and due to which I have to hear it from the society around on my looks, on my capabilities, because people think that the overweight or obese people are not really so perfect in everything, or they are not, can be very good at work or maybe not good at taking care of things around. So yes, but I accepted the way I am, and I was, and I will always be. And that led to me for reaching out to a pageant, which was the first time in India, which was Miss India Curvy. And in that I had won into the subtitles, and that gave me a confidence that even what if I am not those perfectly beautiful, though I'm perfectly beautiful, I could reach out and achieve my dreams. So that is why this topic is really, really close to my heart. And when I experienced that I could done it for myself, there are lot many people outside who definitely, when they look at their mirror, they definitely have, oh, this is not perfect, or this is not perfect, or my hair is not perfect. 99.9% of us, if we look at our mirror, will definitely see at least one thing that we would want to change in our looks. And touch wood, it's been nice journey that I could accept the way I am, and that has led to achieving my various dreams. And I thought of motivating other women also and other people also. It's not about just being fat or its looks or its color or its height. I have been the shortest person running the ramp on one of the fashion shows. So I think that has made me very, very closely connected with this topic. And and that is something, I got very closely connected with this topic of being imperfectly beautiful.
That's fantastic. Sorry. I know we're having a little bit of, I am having a little bit of internet issues today. So I apologize for that. But the second question, I know what you're talking about. And I think this is something that maybe, of course, I'm also not that slim or trim, but you put on your A game, you get ready. And I think we were talking about this yesterday. And we're very excited. Here we are, ready to go for that wedding. And the first thing somebody says is, पता है तुमने थोड़ा वेट गेन कर लिया and there goes all your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we really actually do is let's Sukriti, look at the two point of views. So maybe when there are two things that you actually can do. One is when somebody kind of says, and you look to your mirror and say, oh, I'm looking beautiful today, and this is the gorgeous me and myself. And you go to out to the party and somebody says, oh my god, you have gained weight. So one thing for sure that we need to understand the fact uh, is somebody telling on how you are, does that affect you? That's the biggest question of all. And we will go through these points while I take this session, and we will understand the locus of control. And the life is all about the locus of control and how internal and external influence our life, and how they can actually change our life and belief systems. So that is one. And maybe the other way that we can do is when we see somebody, dressed up so dolled up, somewhere, and we actually probably can say, oh my God, you look so beautiful today. Right? So, and you could actually counterpose that and you tell that person, oh, you're looking so gorgeous. What's the reason? And you just change the energy there and then. And you see how the person just changes and take a back seat and would say, oh, did I say really a right thing to that person? So this is how you actually change that minute, that energies between the two people.
Fantastic. Last question I want to ask you. I know everybody is waiting for the session, but I definitely would request everybody. This is a session on Imperfectly Beautiful. So please do turn on your cameras. Don't worry about how you're looking. Doesn't matter. We would love to see your faces. We would love to see all of you. It will make our day, and it makes it so much nicer when we're talking to real people out there. But the last question I have, I know that you have been, because you're a psychologist, you have been dealing with a lot of people out there. What are some of the key concerns that you're seeing that are coming up due to the pandemic? And that is my last question before I hand it off to you to start the session.
Okay, yes, I think this is a very relevant question. And I must say that there is, as a mental health expert and handling a lot of people across the nation and abroad, I definitely see there is a trend of uh, the mental health condition moving up. So if I tell you, if I've taken a 40 seconds right now as I speak, every 40 seconds generally without covid also there was a stats with by WHO, which is World Health Organization. I'm sure by now everyone knows what World Health Organization is. It's one of the biggest health organization across the world. So that had actually said in 1 year back that every 40 seconds somebody commits suicide in the world, and 17%, 1 7, it's a huge chunk, 17% of it lies in India.
Wow.
And the even the worst is that younger and younger generations are also getting affected by getting into depression. And there was another research by WHO which actually predicted in 2009. I still have that article, clipping a clip of the newspaper, and that in 2009 itself said that by the end of 2020, that means this year, depression is going to be the second largest illness in the world. And I can definitely see that there is a huge rise in conditions on mental health. There is increased anxiety due to isolations, the anxiety of uncertainty of medical health conditions. And we have medical practitioners as well who are reaching out to us for counseling because they are the COVID warriors who are gone ahead and doing this service with along with the COVID patients. So even the learned and the experts like medical professionals are coming and reaching out to mental health experts these days.
Wow, I know. It's a very, very tough time. With that, I think, yes, let's get started on our session. So, Swati, I hand it over to you.
Thank you, Sukriti. Okay, before I start my presentation, and I will request each and every one of us to please, one, definitely, if possible, open up your screen so that I can see you all, I can interact with you all. And of course, I can see some chats coming in because my session is not a kind of a something which is very, very lecture type, which is, usually assumed for mental health. It is something beautiful. It is something imperfectly beautiful, right? So we will have a lot of things coming up during the course of session. There is a lot of things that I want you to write up in your chat boxes. Okay, so let's begin. And when we see a topic called imperfectly beautiful, and the graph that is representing here, I Dr. Swati, welcome everyone. And to begin with, this is the first activity. Okay, so ideally, if somebody has coins, it's great. But if not, let's just pick it up. I want all of you to write on your chat boxes. I want all of you to write on your chat boxes the first top five people in your life. Okay, family is not a people, it's a group of people. Okay, so first top five people in your life which are very, very important to you. So it can be your partner, it can be your wife, husband, daughter, son, myself, your friends, your colleague, any best friend, or anyone. So top five people, write in a series of one, two, three, four, five, that these are the five people who are most important to me.
And for those of you who don't want to share, please do write it and keep it for yourself because we will be coming back to this exercise.
Yes, absolutely. Right. So I'll just pause for 4 5 seconds and I want you to write that down, the top five people in your life. Okay, so let's proceed and let's come back to knowing that the one question that we never fail to ask, right? That how are you doing today? So again, in the chat box, can I have people writing in how are you feeling today, or how are you doing today?
So I'm fine, blessed, wonderful, great, not bad,
Okay.
great, good, good, confused, happy to be safe, excellent, awesome, trying to stay positive, happy, happy, okay, okay, good, amazing, fantastic, happy, happy,
Okay,
absolutely well.
that's beautiful. Thank you so much for responding, and so thank you so much for choosing to listening to us and responding. Right. Great. So I think these are beautiful comments. And have you ever wondered? Uh, just let's have, it's a small little exercise, and to make us realize every time somebody asks us as to how are you doing today, what is an instant reaction to that question is always either good, okay, happy, fine, thank you, and awesome, right? These are the certain things that we always usually get unconsciously responding back to a question. Sometimes this question has become like a habit, if like brushing your teeth or combing your hair every day. It's like, yeah, how are you? Good. But have you ever wondered, are we really good? Are we really feeling awesome? Are we really feeling great? There are one or two odd who actually said some confused or not so bad. So this means those are the ones who probably, are more kind of getting in touch with themselves and realizing the fact, yeah, so what if I'm not okay, right? So what happens is that during the COVID corona, yeah, we probably have to wear a mask all the time when we're going out. But ideally, in our minds, in our psychology, we already wear one mask over our other, right? And this mask is that we do not want to be seen as someone who may not be okay, because not being okay is something that we called, that makes us feel that we are, what will people think about if I say, oh, I'm really sad today, or I'm really anxious, that sometimes we actually do not accept the way what we are actually right now feeling. So, in our belief system, in our thought, there is a discrepancy in our emotions. What we really are going through, we probably do not want to accept and say, oh, we do not want to accept our vulnerabilities. And I believe that vulnerabilities is the biggest strength that you have. If you can show how sensitive and vulnerable you are, then you are the one who actually accept the challenge of accepting the way you are. So let's do another activity. And I want this time, I don't want you to write on the chat anything, and I don't want you to do any calculations, etc. I just want you to close your eyes. Okay? Yes, I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to narrate a story or an incident, and I want you to just imagine it. Okay? And that's, I know that it will do, because mind imagines everything. Okay? Even if I talk, it imagines. Okay? So I just want all of you to close your eyes and imagine the incident that I'm going to say. Okay? So one, two, three, now. So I'm going to narrate an incident. So here it goes. So I have a very good friend, and during this pandemic, now he got an offer to go for a fashion show which was organized. And he was very excited, though I, being a wellness expert, I told him not to go out in such condition, because you never know how the arrangements are done. And then he says, oh no, don't worry, because I've got bored sitting at home, and this is a good opportunity to go and see some nice faces, some nice models. So I said, okay, that's great. And let's, I obviously can't say much about it. I can just advise. So this first, my friend goes and, enters this place where entire fashion show is arranged. And he saw a very hot looking fashion designer, jewelry fashion designer, that I would say. That's a statement that he said. And of course he was very excited. But then, yeah, so then the fashion show started, and there was gorgeous beautiful models running up the ramp. And end of the tail of the ramp, they're posing so gracefully and so beautifully, and all that paparazzi, and so many people, clicking the pictures, talking about their costumes, talking about their headgears. And one of the models, when the person turned, and while the person was turning, the person tripped, and there was a wardrobe malfunction. And all eyes were glued at it, because obviously natural human tendency that anything, something very curiosity have filled happen, then of course our eyes only goes there. So it doesn't matter. The model picked themselves up and moved to the end of the stage. So he had a great journey of this event, entire program. He came home, and with his entire family, with two kids, he sat and had a beautiful dinner, and it was really interesting evening that he spoke of. Okay, so I narrated this incident. Now I have few questions from all of you, and you may want to either type on a chat box or write it for yourself. Okay, first thing, how many of you felt that the fashion area where the fashion program was created, that was, keeping in mind of COVID, or people would be sticking to each other as they always do? Did you had in your mind that there will be COVID arrangements? Yes or no? Second question. Did you imagine the jewelry designer to be a LGBT, from an LGBTQ, or a woman? Third question. How many of us thought the models running on the ramp were the plus size models and male models? How many of you imagined, or we imagine those Really thin, zero size bodies, tall, beautiful looking women, right? And then when we talked about the model trip, did you imagine a male model tripping or a female model tripping? Next, did you imagine a wardrobe malfunction of a male or a female, or a headgear being dropped down? Yeah. And then the last question: how many of you thought when my friend came home, uh, he sat with a family? How many of us imagined a family with two male parents and two children? So why I did this activity is I wanted to make you understand the fact that there is so much in our mind which is unconsciously biased, right? That is, can we have, is there something on the chat box that people have put?
Lots have come in, like he quarantined himself, did not imagine, no, no, no. So lots of answers have come in to all of your questions.
Wonderful, wonderful, perfect. Yes, now I can see. So yes, so this is how our mind works, ladies and gentlemen. A lot and lot works on our belief system. Our belief is that a model, until unless she is 5'7", 5'8", or 5'11", or 6 feet and beautiful and zero size and fair or dark or tall, they cannot be on the ramp. I, being the shortest of all, I'm 5'2", and I've walked the ramp, right? But for me, it was challenging because I tried a lot many times, but I failed. But I changed my belief, and that changed my outcome.
Swati, please reshare your slides.
Right? So, see, it's extremely important for us to understand what are our belief systems, right? We all have to be perfect. That is one of our strongest belief system. And why do we feel so? So let's see, what is a perfection story? So sort of work around why do we all, very simple and common thing which we say, oh, I want to look beautiful. Okay, so why do we want to look beautiful? So the first is definition of beauty by someone we also don't know. So who defines this beauty? Who defined that this is a definition of beauty? Who designed a Barbie doll with proper figures? And now even the dolls are changing, if we all know, right? Second is only beautiful is accepted and valued. A lot of households, very common statement, ladies and gentlemen, पतली हो जा वरना लड़का नहीं मिलेगा. Get thin, otherwise you will not able to get married. That's a very common statement across all cultures, I believe. Right? Third, everyone wants to look beautiful and feel valued. Only if we are beautiful, then we are valued. Fourth, beautiful will get better marital prospects, jobs, occupation chances, etc. And five, low self-image and confidence. So all of these belief systems that are created in our minds for years and years and conditioned in a subconscious mind leads to somewhere down pulling our low self-confidence and self-esteem. And let's see, again coming back to, that is why we want to be perfect all the time, because it really straight away related to our self confidence. Okay, so let's see, there is a belief which says I am perfect, so there is a pride attached to it. Okay, and pride, everyone wants to have a good feeling of pride. There is a fear attached to that pride again. It says if I am wrong, I am stupid then. Okay, then there is, if I am but I hate being stupid, there is a self hate start coming in our minds. See, this is just a fraction of seconds in your thoughts and your mind. You don't even realize that these steps goes out in your being and thinking perfection. right? And immediately again that thought hits an anger emotion and says, oh, I hate that people might see me as a stupid. And that again, a belief system again comes in and says, if I am stupid and I'm worthless. And if I am worthless, I am a failure. And that is where we none of us wants to fail. That is another belief, because we feel that failures, or if I fail, I am not valued in society, I will not be able to bounce back. And trust me, if failures are not there, then opportunities are also not there, right? All of the biggies, tech heads or celebrity guests, everyone failed, and then only they bounced back because they learned through their failures and applied it in their lives. But what makes us just kind of a hate being a failure? Why do our mind think about this failure, and how this failure is again boosted up with today's generation of social media, right? The number of likes, the number of hearts, the number of shared posts, the number of posts that we put in, our self-esteem is dependent on social media and how they perceive us and how they think about us, how the other world apart from me think about me. Isn't it strange that somebody else is thinking about you and your happiness is dependent on them, right? So this is a one very big chunk that is coming up as a one of the very strong conditions in mental health. And there are some various facts that are coming up every day. That this is one of the quotes from the newspaper, which says there is a 22 years old girl who committed suicide because she was a victim of body shaming. Even serious, 4 out of 5 young people want social media to identify users and be, are they suffering from mental health conditions? So 4 out of 5 is or young people is a very huge number. 70% increase in anxiety and depression because of social media use. More than 2 hours per day of internet and social thing are more likely to kind of report to a mental health condition. And of course, 60% of people using social media reported to impact their self-esteem in a negative way. So a major chunk coming from ourselves, and the only solution to be accepting your failures, accepting your imperfections, is something that will actually boost your confidence. So the next question comes in: how do we feel, or how do we accept ourselves? Where is the gap? Okay, so the gap is about the locus of control. So I'll just share some statements, and you probably kind of maybe agree or disagree with me, and for yourself just evaluate in your minds. Okay, so I'm going to take these 10 questions, and I want you all to write yes and no for each question. Okay, so either it's a yes or no. Please write it down, because in the end we will score it, and this will tell you that does my locus of control is internal or external. This means, do I depend on my internal happiness, or do I depend on people's opinion to feel good about myself, right? So you just have to write yes and no to each questions, and we will go to the next slide of scoring. So first question: is there some bad habit, such as smoking, that you would like to break but can't? Yes or no? Okay, write it for yourself. In the end, we will calculate it. Second question: do you take steps such as exercise and diet to control your weight and fitness? Yes, somebody raised a hand. Is there any question?
I think we'll come back to them later. I can just ask. Swati, if there's a question, can you put it in the chat box, or we can come back to it later?
Right. Third question: do you believe that your personality was firmly laid down in childhood. So there is a little you can do to change it. हमारा चाइल्डहुड में ही अपना पर्सनालिटी बन गया था, अब मैं उसके बारे में ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that's the third question. Fourth question. Do you make your own decisions regardless of what others believe, people say? Do you make your own decision regardless of what other people say? Fourth question. You can put your question numbers and you can write yes or no in front of that. Okay, that's easier. Question number 4. Question number 5. Do you find it is a waste of time to plan ahead because something always causes you to change the direction? That's question number 5. Moving to question number 6. If something goes wrong, do usually record it's your own fault rather than just a bad luck? Okay, that was question number 6. Question number 7, quickly moving on to question number 7. Are most of the things you do designed to please other people? Question number 7, and please do it genuinely for yourself. You write yes or no, actually what you feel, because here you are not sharing it with anybody else. Okay, so do it for yourself to know yourself better. Question number 8. Do you often feel you are a victim of outside forces and you cannot control? And do you usually manage? Question number 9. Do you usually manage to resist being persuaded by other people's arguments? Do you usually manage to resist being persuaded by other people's arguments? And now the final question. Are you skeptical about the extent to which your horoscope can tell you what you should do and what's going to happen with you? Okay. I hope everyone has done their written their question number 1, yes, no's, so that we can proceed ahead. If you're done, yes, you can write. Do not mention on your...
Give a thumbs up if you're done. Just give us a yes if you're done.
And you may choose not to write on the chat as well. So that's absolutely okay because it's your score. Okay, so now we quickly move to the scoring part of it. So when if you have...
I think reshare, there is a black box that's coming on the scoring.
Okay.
Oh yeah, perfect. Now it's fine.
Okay, now the scoring time. So if you have written yes, okay, if you have written yes to the question numbers 2, 4, 6, 9, and 10. If you have written yes on question number 2, 4, 6, 9, and 10, please give yourself a score of 2 points. If you have written no, then give you a 0 point. Okay, and for question number 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8, if you have given us, if you mentioned no, then give yourself a score of 2. And if you've mentioned yes, then give yourself a 0. Right? And now calculate your score from all these questions. Total score. Okay, so I'll repeat. For the question number 2, 4, 6, 9, and 10, if you've answered yes, give yourself 2 for each yes. And in the question number 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8, if you have answered no, then give yourself a score of 2. And then total all these questions score. And this test is, kind of a scoring is just like a self-assessment, and then nothing to do with any diagnosis or any kind of a thing. It's just a self-screening to understand where I belong.
Can you repeat it again? Because some people don't understand. Just repeat how to score once more.
Okay, so if you have answered yes in question number 2, 4, 6, 9, and 10, then give your score 2 for each yes. Okay, and if you have answered no to question number 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8, give yourselves 2 score for each question, and then total all the questions. Okay, so you can keep your score for yourself. You may choose not to type on a chat. It's because it's your score, right? You want to know about how the locus of control works. Should we move ahead now?
Yes, sure. So I think
Perfect.
we're all trying to understand what does that number mean.
Yes, so that's called an interpretation of a scoring. So when I talk about, so the highest score is 20, and when we move to scoring and interpretation, the highest score is 20, ladies and gentlemen. And if any of the score of 14 or above would suggest that you have an internal focus locus of control. This means you are better in control, in a position to have a higher self-esteem or more confidence in yourself, because you believe that happiness lies internally of me and not depend on individual outside. But people scoring below 14, I will suggest that we probably kind of get a more firmer grip in what we want to do in life, because this score says that my happiness usually lies in pleasing other people. My happiness lies if people say that I am good, I will accept that, oh, okay, then I'm good, right? If I am said by 10 people that you're great, then I will have my happiness lying there. So this means the very important part is about locus of control. Either it's internal or is it external, right? Internal means my happiness lies within me. What I feel for myself is internal, is what I believe in. And if it is external, this means my happiness lies in what people feel about me, not that what I feel about myself. Okay, so there are three things. Aham in Sanskrit means self, right? So self image is how person sees themselves and how they believe others see them. Okay, that's your self image. So my self image is that maybe I'm too good in communications, or I'm a leader, or whatever. That's a self image, that what people feel about me, believe me. Self esteem is how a person feel about themselves. So self esteem is internal. How I feel about myself is about my self esteem, right? There are times that probably in our household there are a lot of time, or even in the corporate world, there are a lot of women who are kind of seen as, if there is any critical situation, they probably are not taken into it. Or any, even in men, with men, there are, if we do not have a good self confidence and self esteem, people start taking us for granted as well, right? And let's move to self confidence. Self confidence is about your trust in yourself and your ability to deal with the challenges. Life mein kuch bhi ho jaye, like for an understand, let's give an example like corona. How many of us feel that it is a positive or a negative? So let's have a poll here, right? Let's have a people answering that. How many of you feel that coronavirus have been negative or positive? Okay, okay. Okay, Jasveer says positive. Minar says positive. Hi, Minar. Good to connect here. Lena says both. Oh, interesting, Lena. That was nice. Okay, Kavita says mixed. Yes. Okay, interesting. Soumya says negative. Vishali says negative. Uh, Chetra says neutral. Okay, Miss Shetty, this is interesting. Sonia says positive. And Swati Sharma says negative, but teaching us a lot of positive things. Ah, beautiful, Swati. That's a good statement. Suparna says instructive. Okay. Really nice. Akshay Bhan says negative. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for putting it that out. So when we talk about corona, and as you know, a lot of people say it's negative. Yes, you know, this is how about our perceptions in life, right? Maybe there is a lot of pressure from outside, and we feel that this is all a set down, or a setback, that you know, you can't go out, we can't travel, we can't do anything. But if I try and see from another perspective, if I see from other perspective, what I see is actually, uh, just give me a second. I'll just present my screen. I think I've lost it. Yes. So when I if I see from my aspect or my angle, or how I choose to be or accept this situation, okay, how I choose to accept the situation is actually probably, I see that there is, the maximum population has gone on internet savvy. The things that we have never done, the kids, that something that have never done, are more trained now. We are more virtually connected, which we have never imagined in a life, that the offices, the real offices, will move into inside our houses. uh, for me, I think it is positive. When I look at our houses, and why do we all work entire life to build up a house, right? And if in this condition we are put inside our houses, we should be blessed that yes, we have a house to be in, we have family to spend time with, right? And I've seen a lot of people coming together and collaborating and doing a lot of family work together. I call fam work. So a lot of people are doing family work, like teamwork. They are doing family work of cleaning house, household chores, etc. So I think that it for this is a perception. What perception do you choose today to believe in, right? And I'll just quickly take another 5 minutes. There are some things that you can do to increase this belief system in your, that I my belief is that I am good because I believe it. So how we can do it? How should we bounce back if we feel that our locus of control is more external? I still feel that 10 people have to say that I'm looking good to believe that I'm looking good. Okay, one, the first step is to take a self-esteem inventory to give yourself a baseline. So what we did today was sort of giving yourself a baseline as to where I stand. What is my belief score? Okay. Next is be aware that you have a choice. So another question coming up, and let's put it on the chat. Okay. How many of you think, how many of us, how many thoughts comes in our mind every day? Yeah, Ahmed also said that connecting to helping people, clean environment. Yes, that's also a bonus. Absolutely right, Ahmed. Okay, so Sukriti says 50,000. Um, okay, I'll do that here. No.
Countless, numerous, unending, 60,000. Anita says countless. Kavita says
Okay,
lots of thoughts.
superb, superb. Okay, so why I'm asking you this question? Okay, this is now the science of the psychology and mind starts. Every day, somebody, yes, almost you are right there. We have around 60,000 thoughts that comes in a day. Okay, there was a research which said almost a day we have 60,000 thoughts running in our mind. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 60,000 thoughts means 60,000 times you are making a choice of to do that thing or not to do that thing. And not doing that thing is also your choice, right? So this means every time there is a thought coming in my mind, and research says 80% of them are usually negative. Okay, because our mind is prone to focus more on negatives rather than positive, right? We remember the negative events in our memories, in our mind more than the positive. We cherish positive, right? So that's a kind of how this mind works. So now let's be focused back. Choices, 60,000 thoughts coming in, 80% negative. Okay, So the whole philosophy of keeping you balanced is, when the negative thought is coming to you, you have to have an awareness as to, oh my God, this thought is coming and this is a negative thought. Okay. And immediately I have to change it into a positive. Positive thoughts will not, it's a not an, it will not automatically come to you. This is a science that negative thought will come, awareness, change to positive. Negative thoughts coming, awareness, change to positive. Negative thought coming, change awareness and change to positive. And this is how you take every minute, every thought, you are taking that decision, right or wrong, whatever it be. And here again, right now, we are choosing to listen to me or you're not choosing to listen to me, right? Even that's a choice. So for you have a choice whether to listen to those people or you do not have you have the choice of listening to yourself and what you believe and what you do want to do. Okay. And this, daily these thoughts coming in and, focusing on our mind sometimes is called as a self-talk. ओके एक पीछे कोई होता है जो दिल दिमाग में बोलता रहता है, ओ माय गॉड, इसने तो आज ये तो और मोटी लग रही है और आज तो ये मेरे से भी मोटी लग रही है, मैं तो बहुत मोटी हूँ या मैं अच्छी नहीं लग रही हूँ. So this self-talk somewhere have to stop.
Swati, can you also give an example of how would you change a negative thought to a positive one?
Sure. So for example, okay, so let's do one other thing. So when I say, don't think of an apple, okay, do not think of an apple. What are we doing?
We're thinking of apples.
Absolutely, right? So now here, please listen carefully. When we tell our minds that do not think of that person he's talking about, she's talking about me, that what you're thinking actually, you're focusing your attention on that person, that what is she is going to judge me. Okay. So rather think of a watermelon, think of a mango, think of a papaya, think of alternate things. So don't think of that person who is creating issues in your life or judging you. Maybe you can think of course, I'm much better. Look how pretty I'm looking, or how beautiful I'm working. Right? So the point is awareness, and awareness about the thought is negative coming, I have to change positive. Another way that you can change your positive feelings is that whenever during the day, okay, this is a secret. Okay, so during the day, your mind has two most powerful time of your mind. This means so hypnotic is a state of mind. Okay, so if I talk about hypnosis, what happens in hypnosis may anyone who says something to you, you have to accept it, right? And that is nothing. It is just a natural state of mind that happens with us, all of us, twice in a day. One, while drifting away into the sleep. Okay, जो कच्ची नींद जिसे बोलते हैं, the sleep, the light sleep that we say, that we are already asleep, but we know that TV is working and somebody is talking. Yeah. Okay. And just before getting up in the morning, very, very light sleep when you're coming back to consciousness. Those two times are the most powerful time of your life, of the day. What you can do in those times. And if you recognize, our ancestor used to say that pray while you sleep, and when you get up, the first thing that you do, with even before opening your eyes, is thank God, right? So that's the science that it is behind it. So that is that either one, write down any positive sentence about yourself, right? So for example, I am doing my best. I am the best the way I am. I am perfect, or I am imperfectly beautiful, or I am gorgeous, or I am doing the best that I can be doing. Any positive present, in present tense, write a sentence for yourself. It has to be positive, and write that 21 times at that time for 21 days, because the behavior takes 21 days to build up a attitude. So being positive or having an internal locus of control is not once time or twice a thing, or one setback and you bounced back. That is not being positive. Positive is the attitude. It's not an incident. And you have to build up this positive locus of control, and it should be like your part of your behavior, of your belief system, that yes, I am the one who knows it, right? So this exercise, trust me, if you start doing it, you will feel a huge difference in how you perceive yourself, right? And next is about setting realistic expectations. So, for example, if I am 80 kgs old and I would say, I want to get fitted into a 50-year-old, 50 kgs, and I want to, double XL, and I want to say that, oh, I got it into a shop and I'd actually pick up a small size dress. Okay, so let's get real. Let's accept the realities and make smart goals, small little goals every time to achieve them. Unrealistic expectations is huge, and unconsciously we actually make hundreds of unrealistic expectations for ourselves, with our partners, in our families, in our work cultures. And those unrealistic expectations, when not met, again break us down, right? So again, a very important point: set realistic expectation from yourself, and stop being a perfectionist. uh, I believe if you say that I'm perfect, then I'm sorry, then there is no room for improvement and there is no opportunity for us to grow. Okay, and trust me, not all of us can be perfect all the time. It's real. None of us can be perfect all the time. We are humans and we tend to change. It's just about being fear of that fear again that we talked about, that we don't want to look like a failure, we don't want to look like a stupid. Even on the chat, if people are not responding any answer, they feel, oh, I should not respond to this answer, maybe I'm wrong, I don't want to look stupid. It's a very simple thing, right? So that is how, I think, some of the line, maybe one step each. If you think that sometimes, just leave your hair open, and just be what you are, without any makeups, whatever, without anything that you would want to do, and just maybe go out one day without makeup, so what? Or being totally suited booted out, and just go once out and just see what you really are. Meditation helps us a lot in awareness, right? And then what I have done is something very beautiful, and that helped me all my life, was focusing on my strengths, right? So all of us, trust me, every one of us has some unique, beautiful abilities, and that can be creative, that can be kind of painting, it can be art, it can be drawing, it can be communication, it can be teaching. So focus on your strengths. I focused on my strength and moved step by step up, not focusing. So it's a similar thing. Don't think of an apple, but think of a papaya. So don't think of your your weaknesses, but think about your strengths, what you have, and enhance those, right? And last, be willing to adjust your self image. So if you think that people think about you in a particular way, then what makes them think, right? Again, a perception. They have a perception of you. So maybe if somebody has a perception of me being very rude, then I need to understand if there is anything that I am doing in my behavior that actually makes them think like that I'm a rude. So we need to check on what my self image is and why people think it, and then introspect on my own self, rather than thinking, oh, he has said I'm rude, so I'm rude now, so I can't do anything about it, right? So don't get a block yourselves, right? And last and not the least, which is something so important, it's very difficult to say, stop comparing yourself to others. It's extremely difficult, I know. A lot of people say that it's very difficult to not compare yourself with others, but I say it is always easy. It will always, so your mind will always your thoughts always accept what your mind says. So let's do a last activity that we say here. I want all of you to close your eyes, okay? And I will say two sets of words, one set, and after that, second set. Okay, and in that, I want you to feel the words. Okay, feel the words. So I will request all of you to Sort of close your eyes, and I will start saying those words. Okay. Disappointing, ugly, difficult, impossible, impossible, difficult, ugly, disastrous, typically bad, too bad, horrendous, horrible, tears, difficult, impossible. And now I'm going to take the second group of words. Okay. Beautiful, lovely, possible, gorgeous, amazing, superb, glory, victory, smiles, love, hugs. All right. So these were the two sets of words. Okay. So now I want all of you to put it on your chat box. How did you feel? How did you feel? Which of the set of the two you liked more? The first or the second? Of course, second, right? So what I'm trying to say is there is a lot of negative talk that happens in our mind. All once you start having an awareness about how you think, what are the thoughts coming in your mind, what are the words coming in your mind, what are the words that you're talking, what is the words that are coming out of your mouth, everything influence your attitude. And what I will say in the end is what you are is all about yourself, is all about yourself. You have a choice to believe in a certain way, and you have a choice not to believe in that same thought. And that power is only with you and nobody else. Nobody else can feel the way you feel for yourself. And if it is the papaya or the lemon or the positive ones, then of course your journey of being imperfectly beautiful will always stand true, because none of us are perfect. We all have imperfections, and it's extremely important to embrace ourselves with all our imperfections, even so whatever they are, and feel that there is a beauty in each imperfection. Absolutely.
Swati, also, I wanted to remind you about the 5 coins because I am still curious.
Okay, so the 5 points.
The 5 coins.
Okay, so the 5 points are the ones that what you need to do. Is that so, Skriti?
No, the 5 coins that we had to put.
Okay.
5 people.
Yes, yes. I'm so sorry. Yes, we have to go back to that.
Yes,
That.
yes.
Okay, so by ending my session, we will go back to the slide that we said about the 5 coins that we had. Now let's see. We talked about the 5 most important people in our life, and I want to know in your chat box, how many of you placed yourself in the first 5 people? How many of you placed yourself in the first 5 people? There is very few people who placed myself in the first of
A lot
five.
of people, Swati says me, Meera says me, Minar, no, because I need their support. Kavita Mohan, I was the first, in fact. Kavita Pradhan, not me. So I think we're getting a mix. So a lot of people did put myself.
Wonderful. Now, next question. How many of you put myself as a first person? How many of us put
Kavita
ourselves?
did. Very nice. Swati,
Okay,
Dr. Meera, yes.
okay,
Snippet says
wonderful.
no.
Okay,
Uh, so a lot of people did put themselves as the first box. Very good to hear.
super, superb, superb, great. So, what I'm trying to tell from this activity was that no matter what in life, we always have to keep ourselves first. I understand, people would say, if I keep myself first, people will feel that I'm selfish. So I say that, one of my friend again, the Shri says, it's not about being selfish, it's about self-ishq, right? So loving yourself is not being selfish for sure, right? So amongst the top five people, I will suggest, in if you keep yourself always first, there is very hard chances of your being not being happy in life. This is the first thing. Even if you look at airplanes, when we sit and the air hostess says their script, there is something that they says, when if there is an emergency and if there is a oxygen mask drop downs, first put your oxygen mask to yourself before helping others, right? And that's a similar thing, that you have to be happy before you can make anybody happy, and you can only be happy when you feel internally imperfectly beautiful.
Thank you. Swati, I'm asking you to unmute yourself. I know you have your hand raised. Swati Sharma, did you want to ask a question? Yes, go ahead, Swati. No, I think she did not. Well, thank you. I know that we
Hello.
have run out of
Hello.
time. Oh, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, can
Go,
you hear me?
yes, we can. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
actually, it was just by mistake that I had actually typed on it. Seriously, I loved the session. It was beautiful. It was a very, insightful experience for me to have joined the session, and I just loved it. And I have learned a lot of things from it, and I'm sure it's going to help me uh, way a lot in my life. Thank you so much. It was a lovely experience
Well, thank
being
you,
a part
Swati.
of
And
it.
I think you're echoing the words for all of us. So that was a nice way to close. Thank you for that. And with
And
that, I'd
thank you
like
so
to
much,
ask,
both of you. Thank you.
and
Thank you for
Swati,
so much of enlightenment today, because
yes,
we
thank you for
normally in
joining
our
us.
we don't really love ourselves so much, and now I think I've got a kind of a message you have put across very well, that you got to love yourself first before loving anyone else. You
I
got to
love
fall
this
in love.
word, not selfish. I think that is going to be
Right.
my
Perfect.
new word, selfish.
Thank you so much, Swati.
Yeah.
And I think,
Thank
thank you for accepting that you have loved it. Thank you for accepting that it has given you something to learn. And keep loving yourself. It is extremely important in our life. That's the first thing ever any human being should do, is love yourself.
Well, thank you, Swati. Thank you for giving us this very, very insightful session. Before we close for the day, any last words that you would like to give to the audience?
So the first is definitely, I think I've spoke about lot about self-love, which is very close to my heart, and I truly feel that it liberates you. It liberates you once you get this belief that I love myself and I want to do this, and I believe in what I am and my capabilities. It gives you, it liberates you. And the second message that I want to give as a mental health expert is, these days there is a lot of emotional turmoils that people are going through. There's a humble request, if you see somebody going through any stress points, reach out to, a lot of helpline numbers are there available today. Even government has opened some counseling helpline numbers. If you see anyone, please reach out. You can help somebody. You can reach out to somebody and make a difference in their lives. So and if you are feeling something, reach out, because talking helps, and it is okay to talk. That's one thing. And 99% of people are saved because they choose to talk to a professional. So that's the second message that, Sukriti, I would like to share.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please do check out Sipping Thoughts. We have lots of amazing sessions. And with that, we wish you a very, very good evening. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.